Welcome to the Halliwell Manor. I'm Max.
And I'm Tina.
And we're here to discuss Season 4, Episode 20 of Charmed.
Long live the Queen.
You know what? Good name. Not something I say very often for Charmed, but I like it.
I have no problem with the name. I would like it better if it was more accurate. My only problem with this episode is that it rushes an ending that cuts off everything. Like, I want this episode to be the entire next season.
Yeah. The thing is, Phoebe becoming the Queen of Hell should be a really big moment. It should be the end point in a journey that she should have been taking this whole time instead of having just occasional, oh yeah, and Phoebe has a tendency towards evil things being dropped every so often. But, like, Phoebe becoming the Queen of Hell should be a big deal. This should have been perhaps if not a season-long arc, then a half-season arc, at least. And I know this feels weird. This feels weird because one of the major problems Charmed gets later is running plots into the ground.
But... And here it's like, you have this great plot. Phoebe is the Queen of Hell. And you're like, okay, well, spoiler alert, guess that's wrapped up.
Yeah, one episode. One episode where Phoebe is the Queen of Hell.
And it's an amazing episode.
It's so good.
This is what they took from us, Max. This is what they took from us.
Could have had a whole season of this. But right. No.
Let's not mourn what we didn't have. Let's just enjoy what we have. The next 40 minutes of Phoebe as the Queen of Hell.
Yes. Do we have to do a previously on Charmed?
Phoebe became the Queen of Hell.
Yes. Phoebe is pregnant with the Source's baby. There was a one-off line that Cole's would be a fair partner throughout about, like, the baby doesn't really belong to you anyway, which will come up again next episode, although God knows that doesn't make any sense. But
no, it doesn't. It was just to give them an easy out.
Yes. So Phoebe is pregnant with the spawn of the source of all evil. She has decided to join him as the Queen of Hell, and together they have taken the thrones in the underworld.
Yeah,
the source doesn't normally have a queen. It's weird that they had a throne waiting for her, but
Cole had it specially made. Cole's a good partner.
I feel so bad for all of the demons working for Cole, because you're like, okay, my boss died and was reborn as this guy, and this guy's like, hey, this is my wife, you all have to be cool with her even though she's,
I know that this is like super super niche what I'm about to say, but it's the Crazy Ex-Girlfriend song, Who Is This New Guy? That's the demons about Cole, as opposed to everybody at White Feather and Associates about Nathaniel, who also is my favorite evil love interest.
Yeah, I mean, Rebecca/Nathaniel. Endgame.
Yeah.
It's obviously not going to be Josh.
And Greg, ugh.
It might be new Greg, but that would be good for nobody.
I mean, it might be no one. No one's a good answer, too.
Yeah.
But
the best answer is clearly Nathaniel, though.
I mean, come on. He gets her.
He went through all that character development.
Right?
He tried to have an old man killed for her.
He's basically Spike. He went out and got a soul just for her.
Why doesn't anyone get that I'm nice now? I love Nathaniel. I love that character arc. It's amazing.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. No, it's funny too, right? Because that's the song, right? Who's the new guy? It's like, wait, I'm supposed to care about this new person so late into the season? And by the end, I'm like, fuck everyone else. It's the Nathaniel show now.
I mean, it's like a Ben Wyatt thing, right? Because he was introduced relatively late into Parks and Rec. And introduced as an antagonist.
Okay, so several things here.
Okay.
As long as we're going to go off about Parks and Rec. Yes, he comes in late. End of season 2. In fact, the beginning of season 3 has a recap that's like hard coded into the show. So no matter what platform you're watching it on, it's there, where it's like, wait, what's going on? Why is the city shut down? And who are these new evil people who came in, right?
Rob Lowe and some guy. The guy from Party Down.
Right, Rob Lowe and the guy from Party Down. But a lot of people will tell you that the show doesn't really start until Chris and Ben show up, and I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
So saying he comes in late is kind of a it depends.
You're okay with people missing all of that Mark stuff?
Who? Yeah. Nobody cares about Mark Brandanowitz. Who, incidentally, so here's the two things. Well, here's the one thing I was going to tell you, but now there's two things.
Mm-hmm.
One is that Ben was not supposed to be forever. There were supposed to be like several different love interests for Leslie Knope throughout the series, but the chemistry was so undeniable that it was like, this is obviously Endgame.
Yeah. Hey, isn't it interesting how they had something planned, and then when they saw the chemistry two certain actors had together, they were like, let's just go with that and then not throw it out the window last second because of some footage we filmed 10 years ago.
This is shade that you're throwing at How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
Totally deserving of shade. I don't want to jump into our secret mini podcast that's going to come very soon, but I'm very excited about finally getting to vent about How I Met Your Mother.
It's going to be...
Not that we don't vent about it all the time.
Just an hour straight of just screaming
oh
and
my God,
screaming.
I'm going to empty out my spleen and I'm just going to feel so much better.
Well, the thing is, the whole last season, and I love the mother that they... when they finally introduced the mother, she's great.
That's the problem!
She's honestly way too good for Ted.
Well, that's a problem. Oh my God, we need to save this.
Yes, we should talk about Charmed.
Wait, no, but the other thing is, Mark Brandanowitz was originally supposed to come back a few times a season, and then they were like, oh, never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, our Parks and Rec zine.
I like you and I love you.
Yes, the back cover is a missing no reward poster for Mark Brandanowitz.
No one cares about Mark Brandanowitz.
I feel a little bad for the actor, though, right?
Oh, whatever. He's fine. I'm sure he's...
Is he?
I have no idea.
Is he?
I have no premonitions about him. Ooh, I've gone back to Charmed.
Yeah. Okay, so Cole is doing demon business in his windy ass apartment.
And okay, but we don't open on that. We open on super angry Phoebe wearing a blood red kimono, just venting out at everyone. She storms over to the window and she slams it shut.
Why is it so goddamn windy in here?
I didn't move to San Francisco because I wanted wind. That's a joke because it's very windy in San Francisco, if you don't know. Also, wait. Didn't a wind demon kill Prue?
Yes, a wind demon did kill Prue. Also, okay, so we're evil, so we're not allowed to turn the lights on in this house.
Well, that's just...
No lights, windows open, wind everywhere.
That's because evil people have a respect for ambiance. Speaking of which, the seer comes in with a goblet.
A smoking goblet that she's like, drink up, it's good for the baby.
And Phoebe's like, can you do anything about this wind? And the seer's like, no, that's not... No.
She's like, well, I could have if someone hadn't vanquished the wind demon.
Phoebe is being such a Karen.
Although the seer says, I do know someone who controls the weather, but they're currently out of town, which I feel like raises further questions.
This is all amazing. And then Phoebe goes on about how annoyed she is about how noisy Cole's little business meeting in the living room is.
So Phoebe takes a drink of this smoking goblet that the seer has handed to her, and she's like, ew, this is so gross, and everyone's so loud, and it's so windy, and why is it dark?
She's like, why can't I just take a regular prenatal vitamin? And the seer's like, because you're pregnant with the source of all evil's child. Do you not understand what's happening right now?
In order for the baby to not explode out of you, we need to give you special demon vitamins. And, okay, this reminds me of one of my favorite bits in Buffy.
Uh-huh.
Where Willow's describing the taste of pure evil to, I think it's Andrew. And he's like, what is pure evil? Because she's like, I was in direct contact with the first. I could taste pure evil. And he's like, what does pure evil taste like? And she's like, it's kind of chalky. Which...
Uh-huh.
It's something that just, whenever anyone's like, ooh, I can taste her power or whatever. Yeah.
You're like, it's kind of chalky.
Yeah. I don't know. I like that note. Also, I know Rack's a big old creep, but the fact that he describes Willow's magic as tasting like strawberries. I like that concept that magic has a taste to it.
Yes, definitely.
Apparently, pure evil tastes gross, though, as Phoebe points out. She's like, "Oh, this is so gross. Boo! I thought being evil would be fun."
Oh my god, she throws herself down on her bed like a teenager and is like, I can't concentrate on my job. And the seer's
She's trying to write her column.
like, why do you even still have a job? You're the queen of hell. That should be your full-time job. You know what this reminds me of?
What?
This reminds me of A Christmas Prince.
Okay.
Remember, because he gets married to Tinkerbell
Yes.
to live more.
Yes.
To Rose McIver.
Yes.
And then in the sequel, she still wants to be a blogger, and they're like, you can't be a blogger. You're the queen of Christania now.
Yes, you're the queen of Christmas country, the country where it's always Christmas.
Yeah. I do want to point out that Phoebe has a book on her bed, and I just had to stop and look up what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So Phoebe, next to her laptop, has a book called Playing It Straight. That is a book about, like, recovery and 12-step programs. So she is taking this job, like, really seriously. She's like, okay, I need to look up stories about recovery to give my advice. And I feel like the set dresser was taking the job way more seriously than anyone who wrote any answer that Ask Phoebe ever, is ever shared with us.
Did you do that thing with your group this week?
I did not, and I want to bring up why.
Okay, well, when we get to it.
When we get to it.
So this year's like, you don't want to talk about your relationship, do you? And Phoebe's like, I mean, I love Cole, but I don't know if I can turn my back on my sisters and my whole life, and I have readers who need me. I'm Ask Phoebe now. She's been Ask Phoebe for like 2 episodes at this point. How is it her entire personality?
Actually, what she says is, you're right. But what she says is, I love Cole, and being the queen of hell is fun. But I miss my sisters. And I like being Ask Phoebe because basically I get paid to tell people what to do.
And the seer is like, Cole is working very hard to consolidate his power in the underworld. He has officially assumed the throne, and he now has all the powers of the source, but you please take this seriously. Please take this seriously. And then she just voips out.
Oh my god, wait, no, I'm sorry. Before she voips out, Phoebe condescendingly waves at her and says, you're excused. Oh my god, Phoebe's such a bitch now!
She did just drink a vial of pure evil.
Oh, is that why? Is that why?
Yeah, this is an attitude we'll see for the rest of the show, basically.
Anyway, then she storms out into the meeting and is like, Cole, it's after midnight. You're done. And then Cole's like, I'm working, honey. And she's
like, fireball! Fireball! She's just blowing up demons left, right, and center. And Cole's like, let's reconvene tomorrow. I need to talk to my wife. And she's like, sorry, pregnancy hormones. You want to go catch a movie?
Oh my god, she's such the worst in this episode in like the best way. She's the worst in the best way. This is the most I've ever liked Phoebe, I think.
Since like season 1 when Phoebe was...
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Piper's getting...
Holy shit, Piper!
Piper is getting ready to blow the shit out of Phoebe. She's making all of these vanquishing potions, and she's like, this one mimics my blasting power, and this one will set her skin on fire, and this one will turn her inside out. And Paige is like, or we could try, like, talking to her.
And Paige is making excuses for her. She's like, she has an evil baby inside of her. Maybe the baby's making her evil. And I appreciate that Paige, like, just got sisters and wants to, like, keep the family together, but Paige, really? I
mean, that's basically what they end up going with. But...
Okay, you know what? Preview for later on in this podcast/episode. Yes, they are later going to say that the baby is making her evil, and also the potion that the seer is giving her is basically pure distilled evil, and that's why she's acting evil, and therefore we should forgive her for everything that happens and not hold any of it against her. But as Cole points out in this very episode, she was not under those influences when she chose to stand by his side at the coronation.
Yeah, like, Phoebe is under a lot of influences now, but she made the choice to be evil all by herself. Like,
Yeah, there's... I
mean, I guess the fetus was inside her for that, but this isn't a Jasmine situation.
No, this whole thing is this is very weak sauce show. Like I do not appreciate the way the show kind of backpedals Phoebe having to take any responsibility for anything, and at the same time is going to hold Cole responsible for all of this behavior, despite the fact that we know that he is possessed. Whatever.
I mean, it's kind of weird for me to use Jasmine as a positive example of this trope done better, because...
Well, I mean, that whole thing is a trash fire from start to finish, because Joss Whedon did Charisma Carpenter so very, very, very dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, just...
that whole plot...
Honestly, I can't even rewatch that part of Angel, because all I think about is how fucked it all is, everything that happened to Charisma Carpenter.
Yeah.
For the most part, like, I can still watch Buffy, and because so many people were involved in it, especially, like, Marty Noxon and Jane Espenson had such a huge influence on Buffy, to say nothing of Sarah Michelle Gellar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that show belongs to more people than Joss Whedon. I can still love Buffy. I'm still gonna get my Buffy tattoo, and, you know, it's all, whatever. But, like, that arc of Angel, it's just too influenced by the bad things that Joss was doing. I can't watch it. It's too upsetting.
Yeah. But you know what it was?
An excuse to get Charisma Carpenter off the show, so now we get to have her in Charmed next season?
No.
And I know the time doesn't line up right, but we do get her next season.
No, it's going to be a few seasons from now.
Really? How long until we get Charisma Carpenter?
Well, it's...
We're on 4. We're almost done with 4. She doesn't have that many more seasons to show up.
Isn't she contemporary? I mean, there's 8 seasons of Charmed. I thought she was contemporaries with Chris. And Cole's in the next season, and
Spoilers.
Yes, spoilers. Cole does not die forever in this episode.
I mean, he could.
Yeah, theoretically, but
People who don't know the show and are just watching it for the first time, they might think that this is the end of Cole.
I bet people were pretty big mad about...
Oh my god, you're right. She doesn't show up until season 7.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I actually think that's post-Chris, too. Yeah, because she's...
I just thought of her being here in the show for much more of the show than she's in, I guess.
No, she's only in a few episodes, too. Like, you think of her as being this big arc character, but I guess it's the same thing with the Seer. The Seer's in relatively... I know they're both called the Seer. The Seer. The Seer we're currently dealing with.
Well, also, I just Googled it, and the Wikipedia entry that I brought up claimed that character and this character are the same. Which they're obviously not.
Yeah, they're very clearly different characters.
Or perhaps they meant like they're in the same, like...
They're both Seers.
No, but not just that they're both Seers, but they're like in the same job.
I guess.
You know, they're both whatever. They're both the regional manager, right? So they're the same character in the way that, like, Andy is the Michael of The Office of the later seasons.
Yeah. But, I mean, this is a thing in Charmed. You have Phoebe's Dark Mirror constantly. There is Naked Table Lady. There's the Seer. There's Kira.
Which is Charisma Carpenter's character.
Yeah. I guess the crone kind of counts. She could see the future, right?
Yeah, I think she does.
Yeah.
A lot of Seers in this show. Really, really, premonition is a dime a dozen power.
Well, a lot of people have telekinesis, too. It really feels like Piper's kind of the only person who got unique powers. Except I know Cole uses time freezing. And I guess the cleaners.
Yeah, but those are high-level demons. So, yeah, no. Despite what everybody says, where everybody's like, premonition really is the most powerful of all the powers. No, fucking being able to freeze time and then explode things.
Yeah. Look, Piper is the tank of Charmed.
Mm-hmm. Although I still don't think that's the power I would want. Of all of the sisters' powers, if I could have any power.
I'm assuming you'd go with Paige.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, honestly, really hard to turn down teleportation.
It's just so convenient. And if I'm not fighting evil, I don't need to be blowing things up. Now, if I assume that having a power comes with the obligation to fight evil, then okay, Pipers. But does Pipers come with a husband that orbs me?
I don't think so, no. I don't think spouses are part of it.
We know, but what if, like, you got Leo's powers and I got Piper's?
Okay.
You could heal an orb and I could blow shit up.
Yes.
And I would promise to not blow you up because I'm a better wife than Piper.
Okay. I know this is so far off track, but in the in the Three Blondes episode where the three blonde evil witches steal the Charmed One's
One of them played by Jenny McCarthy.
Ugh.
Because that's a time freeze for you.
So, when they steal the Charmed One's powers, the one who gets Paige's powers only gets the object orbing. She doesn't get regular orbing.
Right, well, that's why I said Paige and not Prue's. Part of Paige's powers comes from being a white lighter.
Yeah, but when someone steals her Charmed One powers, it's not, they don't get her orbing. They can just do the object thing.
Right, but we're talking about whose powers do you want? I want Paige's. And, like...
Actually, it's weird in retrospect that she didn't get the orbing, right? Because, like you said, they were getting their powers by stealing their identities. Shouldn't she also have gotten her white lighter exclusive powers?
I mean, maybe white lighterness is protected in a way that Charmed One's-ness isn't?
And again, I love that Chris just has one of the active Warren powers and orbing. Oh my god, we need to get back to this specific episode.
Well, that's because Chris is Prue.
We will get to it, but yes.
Everyone knows it.
So Leo comes in and he's like, according to the elders, Phoebe's mostly just blowing up other demons.
And Paige is like, doesn't that mean she's good? And Piper's like, no, she's just a bitch no matter where she is.
Like, the number one cause of demon death in this television show, in the show of Charmed, is other demons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Charmed ones will take out their fair share of demons, but it's a fairly... I'm trying to think of a good way to phrase this. There's a lot of Klingon promotions in that organization.
Yeah. So, meanwhile... Well, I guess this isn't meanwhile. I guess it's the next day. The next day, the demons have reconvened and are having a meeting where they essentially just talk about really good people in town, and they're gonna go kill those various good people. This is like some Darklighter shit.
Yeah, like, this feels like it's too low priority for the source of all evil. Like, really? This is what you're spending your time on?
It is... Well, so I think that the reason the source of all evil is here is because at one point, one guy's like, hey, I should get to kill this woman, this social worker woman.
It's a King Solomon thing, right?
Yeah, he's overseeing because they're arguing about whose territory is whose, so he's overseeing it. Honestly, this might be just one dispute that he's hearing out of many disputes that will come up.
These are all supposed to be upper level guys, though. It's really weird that all of these people are like, this guy's good at charity, so we need to kill him to make the world a more evil place.
Well, I was going to say that's a weird thing for them to be talking about doing anyway, because, like, that's like what Darklighters do. This isn't a demon thing.
To be ambiguously fair, Darklighter's job description is so broad, it's basically meaningless. Remember, there's a whole subset of Darklighters whose whole thing is that they seduce women and impregnate them with evil babies to turn them evil.
What do demons do, actually?
Yeah, I assume demons were more managerial, but it feels like a lot of this stuff should be, handled by warlocks or...
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, don't demons really more go after witches? But no, that's what warlocks do. Like, what do demons do?
No, I guess this is it. They just make the world more evil so that they're more powerful. Like, if there aren't people doing charity or whatever, like, every time you masturbate instead of working at the soup kitchen, a demon gets stronger.
It's like The Good Place, where you just need to put more low-level evil out in the world. I don't know. I like to think that there is a Crowley in this world, like in Good Omens, who's doing things like messing up traffic patterns just to make everybody irritated. Oh, you know what Crowley's doing now in this century?
Internet stuff?
Yeah, he's designing the password rules for various streaming platforms.
Oh, yeah.
It took me, I had to reset my password to sign into Peacock today and then, like, after trying my password and it didn't work, my password that I had saved to my password locker, and I don't know why that one's not my password anymore, because apparently it wasn't, so I had to reset my password, and, like, well, first I tried, like, 3 other passwords I thought it might be, and it wasn't any of them, and I was like, fuck you! I guess reset my password. I guess go through that rigmarole. And then when I reset my password, I went to reset my password, it was like, oh, you can't use the password you've used. Fuck you! Oh my god!
Yeah. Yeah.
Hate password rules. Also, okay. If your thing has a rule where it's like you have to have capital letters and 2 symbols and 5 numbers or whatever, okay, fine. Whatever. But when somebody's entering in their password and they don't get their password right, like, there should be a little pop-up box that says what the rules were so that you remember what password you created at the time. Like, if I remembered I had to use a symbol, then I would know what my password was that I created. Anyway, rant over about that.
I know Charmed kind of blew past this because they basically started fighting upper-level demons in season 1, but I really wish Charmed had focused more on lower-level demons whose stuff wasn't just, like, murdering people. I know we've talked about this on the show before, but I have to imagine there are lower-level demons that are just, like, inconveniencing people all the time and drawing their power from that. Like, because demons draw their power from misery, and there are non-murdery ways to make people miserable.
Hell yeah. Anyway, speaking of non-murdery ways to make people miserable, Phoebe comes into the room in this leather top. Oh my god. Speaking of our other podcast, Welcome to the Uncharted Territories, it's like a sluttier version of Erin's top when she wears just that leather bit with nothing underneath it, except then Phoebe's got it, like, opened at the clavicle. I
mean, it's what cartoon Erin was wearing in Avenging Angel.
Revenging Angel. Ugh. Anyway, she comes strolling into the room and she's like, "Hi, boys."
Fireball! Just kidding. Oh my god, fireball! No, I'm kidding. Like,
I love the look that Cole's, like, lieutenant exchanges with him. Like, can you please get your wife under control?
Because she's being such a dick to these demons.
And then Cole goes to talk to her, and he's like, "Can you not frighten my demons?" And she's like, "I was just kidding. Joke."
I'm sorry, aren't we evil? Isn't this what we're supposed to do? Oh, did I hurt their feelings? We're all demons now, right, Cole? God. Also, why aren't you spending more time with me? And Cole's like, I made so many bad choices.
I've made a terrible mistake. Also, he tells Phoebe, look, the demons have a hard enough time with the fact that you used to be a charmed one. Please don't go antagonizing them. And I'm like, okay, but their problem with them can either be that she used to be good or that she's too evil. It can't be both.
And she's like, she goes out and she's like, okay, wow, these little babies are sad because I killed their friends. Mommy's sorry that she killed your friends, little babies. Oh no, a premonition.
Yeah, she touches one of the demons. Okay. By the way, can I just rag on Phoebe's premonitions for a second? Is that out of character for us?
Not even a little bit, no.
Okay, so she touches one of the demons who was talking about killing the, like, social worker woman, or I guess social worker guy.
Yes.
And has a premonition of him killing the social worker guy. By the way, there is a dossier of the social worker guy, like, up on the table when she has this premonition. Like, good detective work there, Phoebe.
You figured out who...
A+!
You figured out what the demons were gonna do with the guy that they have all the pictures of.
Like, you figured out that the demon's got a demon... when he's sitting there telling you he's... Whatever.
I love that this guy's just runway walking down a dark alley. As one does.
Sure.
I mean, Piper said it in the first episode of, I think this season, the first episode, where she's like, what is it with innocence in dark alleys?
Right?
Which, yeah.
Anyway, then Phoebe leaves the room and she like listens at the door to hear Cole say, "All right, so Malik's gonna kill this guy in the alley tonight." And Phoebe's like, "Oh, I've done such great detective work." And then she takes the evil potion and pours it into a plant because she's not going to drink it. And then she demonstrates that she is now good by taking off the evil top and just walking away topless.
Yes, she turns away from the camera and then she takes off the black leather top. And you just see her walking boobfully off into the...
I do have to say, though,
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa Milano has a rosary tattoo on her back.
Yes.
So when she takes off the evil top, it does expose the rosary tattoo. Do you think the cinematographer was thinking that when they blocked this scene?
I 100% think he was not thinking that. I think he was thinking, hey, we can maybe show a little side boob. This is the WB, right? We can do that. We saw like a quarter of David Boreanaz's ass when he came back from hell.
I love that she came out in this evil leather top and is like, I guess I won't be evil anymore, so I won't be needing this evil leather top. I love this episode so much.
So Piper is back at the manor. Piper is organizing all of the murder Phoebe potions, and Leo's like, I think maybe you're not in the best place mentally right now. And Piper's like, look, I'm sorry, but I feel like we just need to deal with the situation at hand. And Paige is like, don't you all become evil all the time?
Right?
How is this different from when she was possessed by, like, the bank robber ghost? Or, who else was she possessed by this season? Because I know it's been more than one thing.
Was she a Fury or a Harpy?
No, you keep thinking, she was a Banshee.
A Banshee.
Piper became a Fury. You keep thinking that Phoebe became a Harpy, which she does not.
Okay, well, let's not delve into that too much.
But
so, okay.
But Piper says this isn't like any of those other situations. Phoebe isn't possessed. She made the choice to be evil, so we have to kill her.
Okay, Piper is not wrong. She chose evil. Are you listening to me? Charmed from 20 years ago? God, whatever, how old this show is.
Yeah,
Are you listening to me?
20 years ago.
Charmed 2 decades ago when you try to retcon this? She chose evil. Okay, so my theory, by the way, is that the reason Piper is going so hard is because if they really do have to vanquish Phoebe, then that's going to destroy the power of 3, and then Piper gets to actually be out.
You know what? Solid.
That's my theory.
Solid.
Okay, so let's talk about evil Phoebe and good Phoebe. Because evil Phoebe wears a black leather top that's open all the way down the front. And good Phoebe wears a fringed brown suede jacket like the one that Dave wears in Happy Endings that all his friends make fun of.
Yes.
It is, like, 2 equally ridiculous leather outfits. Like, how many cows have to die for people to figure out where on the morality spectrum you are today, Phoebe?
Well, she's still very clear. She's like, hi guys, I'm still the queen of hell. And Piper throws a vanquishing potion at her and she fireballs it. And she's like, okay, look, I may be the queen of hell, but I'm still also a charmed one. So, I'm going to have it both ways. And Piper's like, that's not how this works, Phoebe.
It's really not. I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say I'm on Piper's side.
She tries to pick up
right.
She tries to pick up another vanquishing potion, and Leo and Paige have to hold her back, and Phoebe's like, look, you are my sisters, and just because I'm the queen of hell doesn't mean that I don't, I don't still have my duties. But, like...
Just because I'm evil doesn't mean I can't still be a charmed one. Yes, it literally means that, Phoebe. It literally means that.
I've never ignored a premonition before, and I'm not going to start now.
Oh, well, put a pin in that.
But Piper points out, honestly, fairly reasonably, you are literally the queen of hell. how can we trust you? How can we be sure that you're not just going to murder all of us and feed our innards to your demon spawn?
Well, Paige rightly points out, look, the fact that she wants to help us, that she doesn't feel like she can ignore an innocent, means that there's some good in her fighting to get out. We should nurture it, not keep throwing potions at her. Also, I want to say, like, does it matter if you throw potions at her? Because you had your best opportunity when she first shimmered in, and you had the element of surprise, and she batted that away like it was nothing. So I don't know what you think you're going to do now, Piper.
I mean, all she has to do is throw one that Phoebe misses.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
So they orb, except for Phoebe, who was it flames
I know I
out.
said shimmer, but yeah, she has the flame teleport now.
Less cool.
I don't know. There's fire.
So they all go to the alley where social worker guy is sauntering. Piper freezes him, which, okay.
Why would she freeze him and not, like...
the demon?
Yeah, but that's what she does. And then she goes to blow the demon up, and...
And Phoebe's like, no, I will handle this. We kind of skipped over it, but Piper grabbed a bunch of vanquishing potions before they left, and Phoebe was like, what are those for? And Piper's like, insurance, which, Jesus Christ, Piper.
Yeah.
But Phoebe's like, look, don't kill this guy. I'm the Queen of Hell. I can just tell him to not kill this guy. Hey.
I love it. She goes up to him and he, like, kneels before her and he's like, my queen. And she's like, don't kill that guy. And he's like, all right, my queen. And then goes away. And she's like, all right. All done.
See, look, we saved a guy and we didn't have to murder another sentient being. And Piper's like, that's not how this works.
They're all so irritated with her.
And Phoebe's like, but, like, I know that this is not something the show ever really wrestles with, but do you think maybe it would be good if we could handle these issues without murdering sentient beings?
Well, I mean, what she actually says is, I promised Cole I wouldn't kill any more demons. He
Yeah.
gets so bent out of shape.
She's like, I promised him I wouldn't kill Malik. And Piper's like, you know his name? Which...
yeah, of course she does.
I assume you normally know the names of demons you're trying to kill. I mean, and by assume, I mean I know because you look them up in the Book of Shadows and it tells you how to kill them.
Yeah.
Although I guess this guy was low enough level so that Piper could just blow him up with her blowing up power.
Yeah, but I mean, of course she knows his name. Like, she's the Queen of Hell.
It's her job to know every one of her subjects' names.
Oh, you know what? I take it back, because Phoebe is definitely not the kind of ruler who knows all of her subjects' names. Leo, though, rightly points out, if you were just going to tell him to stop, why did you drag us along? And she's like, I just miss hanging out with you guys.
And Piper's like, okay, but, like, literally what's going to stop your buddy Malik from coming back later when we're not here and, you know, murdering the shit out of this dude? And Phoebe's like, I'm the Queen of Hell. People have to do what I say. And Piper's like, no, seriously, I know I keep harping on this, but, like, you legitimately cannot have it both ways. You can't be the Queen of Hell and a charmed one. And Phoebe's like, what do you expect me to do? Just turn my back on Cole? And Piper's like, obviously, yes.
Okay, I have so many, like, deep cuts this episode, but I'm gonna quote from Peep Show.
All right.
Why can't I have everything I want and they have nothing? Isn't that what democracy is?
So everyone kind of doubles down. Like, Leo's like, you know, Phoebe, I want you to be good too, Piper, but, like, Piper's right. You can't have it both ways. And Phoebe gives the classic non-apology. She says, I'm sorry you feel that way, and then flames off.
Oh. Yeah.
So, social worker guy unfreezes, and he's like, excuse me, have you seen any good that needs doing? For I am a good person, and I like doing good. And Paige is like, yeah, no. And they all just kind of turn around and walk out of the alley.
Down in Hell, it's like... what's, like, the Hell version of the Property Brothers? Is it the Property Brothers?
Yes. Kill him so I can be free.
Anyway, Down in Hell.
That was a Girls 5 Eva reference.
We're just, like... We're nothing but deep cuts tonight. Anyway, down in hell, Cole is like looking at some animal sacrifice rooms that haven't been used in many, many millennia that he wants to renovate. I'm not even kidding. That's how this scene starts.
Okay, do you think that if he amped up the animal sacrifices, then he could get away with killing less people? Also, who are they sacrificing animals to?
I don't know. It doesn't even matter. It's just so that he can be alone with a couple of his guards.
It's God Cop.
It's just monkeys singing songs, mate.
That is a Bluey reference in response to a 30 Rock reference. Honestly, I think It's Just Monkeys Singing Songs, mate, is possibly one of the greatest pieces of film criticism, possibly of all time. It's from the episode where Bluey is afraid of the movies.
Yes.
And she's reading way too much into the children's movie. Although she is nailing the moral of the story of the movie that they're watching, which is a very paint by numbers, be yourself thing. Mm-hmm. But her dad kind of just, he's like...
Okay, well, no. To be fair, she's worried because, you know, the monkey is different from everyone else. And she's like, wait, am I different? Am I also different? And Bandit starts by trying to comfort her with, look, I'm pretty sure by the end of the movie, people are going to like that the monkey was different.
Yes.
It's only later when she keeps going about, like, what does this say about her? That he's like, it's just monkeys singing songs, mate.
Yeah. Which I actually thought about in the context of there's this insane thread that have people arguing about how rich Bluey's family has to be to afford that house. And if I have ever seen a case of It's Just Monkeys Singing Songs, mate, it's that thread. Because, Jesus Christ, they are cartoon dogs. That's how they afford the house. They're cartoon dogs.
Actually, I saw a really good explanation for why they can afford the house.
Well, they inherited it, right?
Well, we don't know for a fact that they inherited it.
Yeah.
But it really does seem like Bandit grew up in that neighborhood, and the house is, like, falling apart. And we know that...
Nana's in a retirement village.
Right, so it would make sense that she would, like, sell it to Bandit and Chili cheaply when they left.
Yeah.
When she and Bob left.
Before he died.
And it makes sense that they would take it because clearly, like, well, Rad is out on an oil rig and Stripe is, like, doing okay. Stripe's got, like,
Stripe's
a huge house.
doing well, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it makes total sense. And also because the house is kind of falling apart. It needs lots of repairs. So, yeah, it totally makes sense. It's fine.
One of the fun things about Bluey, if you're an adult watching it, is the, like, stuff you can pick up from just paying attention to minor details. Like the fact that Juno isn't with her mom. Judo, sorry, yeah. The fact that Judo isn't with...
Yeah, Judo doesn't live with Wendy anymore. Judo lives with her dad, probably.
Yeah, because almost all of the adults are referred to by their relationships to the children in their lives. Lucky's dad being the prime example, except for Wendy.
Yeah.
Even though we know she's Judo's mom. Also, Judo isn't there as often as the other neighbor kids.
Right, and when they talk about how Judo doesn't have people to play with,
mm-hmm.
You mentioned, like, the stuff that's happening for adults in the background, but I just want to be clear that what's happening is it's like a fully fleshed out world seen through the eyes of children, but if you're watching the background, you can see the fully fleshed out world in the background. Not there's stuff for adults like, oh, there's dirty jokes in the background.
No, it's stuff like, you can kind of assume that Chili had a miscarriage at some point. There's a lot of stuff that indicates that Bluey and Bingo's mom had a miscarriage. And it's all really subtle, and it could just be, like... Well, it's never been confirmed by anyone as far as...
So it hasn't been confirmed, but there's an episode that's not on Disney Plus yet, but that's already aired in Australia called Onesies that apparently is, like, very clearly that.
Yeah.
So...
Which
we haven't watched that episode yet because it hasn't aired in America yet.
But there have been lots of little hints that Chili lost a baby at some point.
Well, I mean, in the play, I feel like it's pretty clear.
Oh, yeah, the bit where the balloon pops and Chili just takes Bandit's paw. It's such a little piece of acting, but...
It's just so good.
And the bit where they're packing up the...
when they're packing up the nursery, yeah.
And, there's a lot of stuff.
Also, there's some stuff in Sleepy Time, where you can see when she's flying past the planets that represent Bluey and Bingo, and then there's, like, a third planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good show.
It really, really is. I can't believe you recommended. I know it's because it's the hero's journey.
I recommend. No, I love Curry Quest.
Curry Quest is a great episode.
Curry Quest is a top 5 episode.
I just think if you are a new parent, that Baby Race is a really good episode to start with.
Baby Race is a great episode to watch if you're a new parent, but I wasn't recommending it to this person as a new parent. I was recommending it to this person as a person who I know loves literature criticism. So it's the episode that's about the hero's journey. And oh my god, and it hits my heart so much when it's like, and then this is the part where all of the things that the hero has learned along the way, like, oh, and they paint their faces so they can get past the magpies. I mean, come on. Oh, it's so great. And then there's like and then there's the part where like Bingo has to be braver than she's ever been. Oh, come on. Oh, it's so good. So good.
I mean, I'm sorry, Baby Race gets me.
Also, it opens with fiber work.
Yes, it does open with fiber work.
It's really good. It's really good.
It opens with fiber work that makes you mad because they do sell that kind of yarn.
It's true, it does. Yeah. Bingo's like, why don't they make self-striping yarn? And Chili's like, that's the dream. And it's like, they do. It's called self-striping yarn. You can buy it. You can order it online. I know you can afford it. I've seen your house.
But
you see, I've read it all back around.
Yes.
What were we talking about?
I think we were talking about...
It's just monkeys singing songs, mate!
Yes.
It's just monkeys singing songs.
So Cole is having this meeting and Malik comes in and he's like, Boss, I saw your wife. Your wife ordered me not to murder people, so clearly she's not evil enough, and you should be aware of that. And
you know what? Snitches get stitches. She spared your life, and you went and snitched on her to Cole, so now you get blown up.
I mean, I guess to be vaguely fair to Malik, I feel like he would have been blown up for not blowing up the social worker, so this just feel like kind of a no-win situation for him.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, Cole's like, so does anyone else know that my wife is apparently good? And he says no. So,
why would you say that?
Right?
So Cole blows up Malik, and he blows up one other guy in the room, and then the last guy in the room's like, are you going to blow me up too? And he's like, no, I trust you, Chancellor Snake Face. What's Grand Vizier? I trust you, my Grand Vizier, a character we've never seen before, but is clearly, I mean, I guess they're all evil as hell, but...
So...
I don't know why Cole has decided to trust this one guy, but he's like, yeah, you're going to be my confidant in this whole hiding the fact that my wife might secretly be good thing for no reason. You should have just blown that guy up, Cole. Come on.
Yeah.
There's always more demons until the last season where they do kind of run out of demons.
So Cole summons another demon to go kill this social worker. And meanwhile, Paige and Leo are following him because they know that's exactly what's going to happen. And they follow him to an AA program, which is interesting because Ask Phoebe's question...
Yeah, it was about...
It has nothing to do with sobriety, but that's the book she was reading.
Yeah.
I don't really know if there's a connection there. I just throwing all this stuff out there.
And Rose McGowan makes reference to the... Rose McGowan. Paige makes reference to the fact that, she's seen her fair share of these, back in her drinking days. They are kind of leaning on the fact that she used to be alcoholic. Mm-hmm. In this episode, it comes up a couple of times, and it's something I feel like they have textually stated. I don't know if they textually stated that she used to be an alcoholic. They've definitely made mention to the fact that she's sober now.
Oh, yeah, no, I feel like they have. Yeah, they definitely had. So, the AA, the person who's leading the group, asks if anybody is celebrating a milestone, and somebody stands up to get their 30-day chip. Put a pin in that.
All right.
I might have a premonition about this man with no lines who stands up to get his 30-day chip.
I noticed you knew who it... I noticed the recognition in your eyes, and I was waiting for when we watched this initially.
I was waiting for him to have literally any lines.
Yeah, because I was waiting for him to come back because I wanted to see if I could recognize who the person was. And he does not come back, so... Out of luck there.
Meanwhile, in the offices of Ask Phoebe, apparently Phoebe is working in the office even though she's the Queen of Hell. I feel like if anyone gets to work from home, it's the Queen of Hell.
In the dark, because, evil now. And
Also, like, are you going to complain about the noise all day long, or are you going to come work out of the office? Do one or the other. I guess if you worked out of the office all the time, you wouldn't get to complain about the noise.
so Elise comes in to the office and she's like, look, I thought that your article about how a woman should beat her cheating husband to death with a crab hammer was hilarious, but we can't print it because, we'd get sued. So
I'm not sure about that, but anyway.
Write something different, Phoebe. Like, pull your head out of your ass and write something we can actually print. And Phoebe's like, fireball! I mean, sure, Elise.
She does actually summon a fireball, to be clear. We're not exaggerating.
But she's holding it slightly behind her desk, so Elise doesn't see it. One would think that would change the lighting in the room.
It really should. Anyway, Cole comes in and it's like, Phoebe, what the fuck?
Cole comes in and Alicia's like, you don't work here. And he's like, yeah, but I'm a man. I can do whatever I want. And Alicia's like, damn it, he's right. And she leaves and Cole's like, if you want to murder her, we've got people for that. And Phoebe's like, I'm feeling overwhelmed by evil. And Cole's like, I'm going to shut the door because the
Phoebe,
door's open.
You're the queen of hell now. You don't murder people yourself anymore. Also, okay, she yells at Cole for interrupting her while she's working, and I will just point out that she's been doing nothing all episode but interrupting Cole while he's working.
Oh my god, she's the worst. How dare you interrupt me while I'm working, Cole? What kind of monster would do that?
Cole is literally the devil, and she's being worse than him in this episode.
Cole is the source of all evil, and Phoebe comes off looking like the unreasonable one.
Also, she complains about the stuff that Piper said, and Cole's like, yeah, Piper's right. You can't be the queen of hell and a charmed one. You do, in fact, have to choose. And noblesse oblige. Usually that means that the prince has to marry somebody until Cinderella comes along, but in this case, it means you can't be the charmed one and rule over all the demons.
And he reiterates the point that he made last episode where he's like, look, we need to be together in this because if we're not, the demons will rise up against us. They will kill me. They will kill you. They will kill our child. If you are not in this 100%, we are all going to die, Phoebe. I'm not doing this to be mean, even though, again, I am the source of all evil. I don't want our family to die, so we all have to be 100% evil all the time.
Get your shit together, Phoebe!
And, like, being good will make you weak. Like, this...
That's what he's been fighting with for the last few episodes, ever since he possessed this body, which I will remind you, the source of all evil and Cole are not the same person, even though this episode really, really makes it seem like they are.
Mm-hmm.
He even tells Phoebe, he's like, I get it, I get the conflict, it's the same one I've been dealing with, but it's not, because he's possessed.
And Phoebe's so distressed by this that she's eating her fingers, but he's like, look, let's go home, we can have a hot mug of cocoa, and, like, watch a movie, and then we can just be evil forever, okay? We'll have a little date night, and then we'll just be evil, and people won't rise up against us, and it'll be fine.
Meanwhile, Piper's sitting alone in the dark at P3, drinking out of a giant bottle of whiskey to, like, show how morose she is, and it's... The bottle of whiskey has the, like, bar pourer thing stuck into it, which is both a good touch, and also, what are you doing? Take that thing out if you want to get a good swig. I guess she's pouring it into a glass because she's not completely over the edge yet.
I mean, she may be in despair over losing her sister to evil, but she's not an animal.
She's not going to drink straight from the bottle.
So, Leo comes in, he's like, this isn't going to help Piper, and she's like, well, I ignored Paige when she told me that Cole was clearly evil until it was way too late, I mean,
she's right.
Like...
Although you would think the lesson would be, listen to Paige.
Yes. And Leo's like, hey, but I didn't realize that Cole was evil. And
oh my god.
And Piper's all, okay.
Oh, if your argument is you are not any more oblivious than I, Leo, oh my god.
But Leo's like, look, you need to, like... It's human nature to want to trust people, and you just wanted what was best for Phoebe, and Phoebe thought that Cole loved her, and Cole does love her, and And Piper's like, it doesn't matter. Like, none of it matters. I lost Phoebe to evil. And Leo starts off on like, well, things are only lost if you let them be lost, and good always been blah, blah, blah. And she just freezes him. She's like, I don't have the energy for this.
She freezes him, and then she's so drunk that she falls off her stool, which is supposed to be a sad moment, but it's just it's
too
it's
comedic.
a little too comedic how much she like flies up in the air when she falls.
So, social worker guy leaves the meeting
via the door that opens into the alley.
Fog-filled alley. Or steam-filled alley, I guess.
Definitely steam-filled.
And the demon Cole hired to kill him is watching from beneath his boy band bangs.
And Paige follows him out. And, okay, it's not just steam-filled. It's, like, red steam-filled. Like, where even are we right now? And don't say San Francisco, because this looks like the set of The Warriors.
So, the demon guy throws a couple of energy knives into social worker guy, and then Paige orbs. Then he pulls out like a regular stab anathema, and Paige orbs it into his chest, and he's like, blah, blah, blah.
And poor Paige is like all alone. She's like,
again, how is Paige's object orbing not an active power? Although I guess we're over talking about it like it's not.
Well, I was gonna say Paige is the only one who like has her shit together in this episode. She literally is like, "Where are my sisters?"
Well, and Leo, she calls out for Leo, and Leo doesn't answer because he's still frozen.
Yeah, so she runs into P3 in the next scene. Presumably she orbed over there.
Yeah, she orbed over because the guy's corpse is with her.
Yeah, she finds a passed out Piper and a frozen Leo.
And she slaps Leo and he unfreezes, and she's
that's
like,
not how that works.
Yeah. And she's like,
that's whatever. I'm sorry, no, you're right, we're too close to the end to care, but that's not how freezing works.
But she's like, did demons get her? And Leo's like, yeah, inner demons, which, boo. She asks Leo if he can heal Piper, and he's like, no, I can't heal self-inflicted wounds. I would also think it would be hard to heal being drunk.
Yeah, you probably can't.
I guess it's technically a poison, right?
Yeah. If you could heal someone who's poisoned, you could probably heal drunkenness. Yeah.
So, so Leo's gonna heal up this guy, and Paige is going to sober up Piper.
Yeah.
She slaps Piper awake too. She's got the magic slapping hands this episode.
She needs to, because they're down a sister. So,
back at the apartment, Phoebe's complaining about her relationship to the seer. She's like, I love Cole, but I miss my sisters. And the seer's like,
drink this potion of evil.
Please shut up. And Phoebe notices that the plant that she poured the potion into earlier died. And she's like, you're trying to poison me. And the seer's like, no, it's pure evil.
I love that the seer doesn't try to hide anything. The seer's like, your child is the source of all evil. It needs liquid evil.
Yes, your child is like a mega powerful spawn of the greatest force for good and the greatest force for evil. If you are not evil, if you are not at full power, which, and let me be clear, as an evil person, I'm only capable of taking you to full evil power. If you are not at that, you will die. And Phoebe's like, you're poisoning me with evil. And the seer's like, I spend all of my time trying to help people who won't goddamn listen to me.
I feel really bad for the seer. I honestly do. Phoebe's like, why couldn't you let me make my own decisions? And the seer's like, you did. You chose to stand by Cole at the coronation.
I love that this point gets reiterated by 4 different people over the course of this episode.
And yet by next week we'll be like, oh, poor Phoebe, she had no choice.
Piper mentions it. Leo mentions it. The seer mentions it. And later in this episode, Cole is going to mention it. In fact, Cole mentions it twice. He mentioned it in the bit where they were talking in Phoebe's office. People need to remind Phoebe over and over again that she actively chose to be evil.
Ugh. So Cole is down in the not yet refinished basement in hell, and a bunch of demons have gathered for a vote of no confidence. And listen. They are right that Phoebe is working both sides and that maybe everybody should have a conversation with Cole about this. but their evidence is Malik the demon was killed, and the innocent that he was gonna kill is now being guarded by the Charmed Ones. And it's like, that's just Tuesday for y'all. That doesn't necessarily prove anything.
Yeah, especially because... Okay.
The Charmed Ones literally do nothing but stop you all day long.
And they bring up the fact that Malik has mysteriously vanished after, confronting the innocent that was protected by the Charmed Ones.
Yeah, I'm sure the Charmed Ones vanquished him, dude.
Yeah, well...
I mean, that's not what happened here, but...
And Cole cops to it, I guess, because they're like, what happened to Malik? And he's like, I killed him. And they're like, oh, I can't believe you would do that. Like, it's a thing demons don't do to their minions all the time on this show. And he's
right?
Like,
he kills people all the time.
And he doesn't say the thing that I would assume you would say, which was, yeah, because he failed to kill the social worker. But no, instead he said, I got the feeling that he was going to betray me, which I guess is also a veiled threat to everyone else in the room.
Yeah.
I feel like if I were the source, which clearly I'm not, but if I were the source...
Clearly you're not the source?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I would be doing a Charmed podcast if I were the source of all evil.
It's the perfect cover!
It is the perfect cover. But I feel like the first thing I would do personally would be to wipe out all upper level demons.
Well, then where is your power coming from?
Lower level demons. I uplift.
Okay, but they're not just lower level politically. They're lower level power level as well. Like, how are you going to go fight good if you only have, like, Pidgeons? What's that Pokemon that's everywhere?
Oh, Pidgeys.
Yeah.
Pidgeys, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, you raise up demons. I feel like having a bunch of people who are just waiting for you to fuck up so they can kill you is not super conducive to be...
Yeah, well, he should have been doing more to earn the loyalty of the demons that he didn't kill. Like, maybe not bring in a wife who was going to kill them on a whim all the time.
Honestly, you know what? No, I think I would wipe out the upper level demons and then work on converting good people to evil. Already powerful good people to evil.
So, in our world, that makes total sense, and I would totally be on board with that. But in the Charmed world, like, what is good and evil is less based on will and what you choose, as we see, than more based on, like, what you're born into. Like, I don't think you actually can convert, like, good witches to evil, because they only had that 24 hours when they first got their powers to make that choice.
No, you know what I'd do? Send my sexiest demons out there to seduce good witches, because as we know, the one foolproof way to make a good witch evil is to...
With sex.
Oh, no, I was going to say to have her married in the dark way.
Oh, God.
Yeah, just seed a bunch of dark priests out there, get everyone married in the dark way, just constantly scanning the paper for engagements, see if there's any powerful witch names.
Like those cult weddings. Like those massive cult weddings.
No. I figure you just sneak dark ceremonies into regular weddings that witches are doing.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking like massive wedding ceremonies, like 20 people getting married at once.
Well, I think that would be harder to trick people into.
Yeah, I guess.
But, like, I don't know. It just seems bad to have a bunch of super powerful demons hanging around that want to overthrow you.
I think that the demons... I mean, you're assuming that a demon naturally wants to overthrow, whoever's above him. I think a demon who's treated well, a demon who is properly motivated and rewarded, isn't going to want to overthrow the person who's providing him with that comfy life, because they know that they're not necessarily better positioned to, like, create that life for themselves and other people.
Well, again, that's why I think it would be best to uplift lower level demons.
Well, now you're assuming, though, that you can actually give them the power upgrade as well, which I'm not sure is the case.
And just have this here make up some more evil juice.
Oh my god.
Steroid.
Oh my god. You need like an evil CrossFit so that everybody can get evil swole.
Yeah.
There you go. Evil CrossFit. That's kind of a...
redundant.
Yeah.
So... Piper and Paige are talking it out, Paige has made Piper a hangover cure, and
Which is just like tomato juice and raw eggs. Which is such a television hangover cure. Has anyone ever used that as a cure for hangovers?
I think if I tried to if I even smelled a raw egg, I've only been hungover, God, like once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
Once, an ex of mine had his mom sent him a bottle of, it was like, she was from Chile, and it was this like very sweet alcohol that we split a bottle of, and I have like never been like, I'm not a drinker. I don't like drinking. It did not taste like alcohol at all.
That's the problem. It goes down so easy. Yeah,
And the other time, also back when I lived in Boston, because again, I don't really drink that much, but I was sick. I had the flu. Honestly, I probably should have gone to the hospital. I had a really high fever, but I tried making myself hot toddies because I heard that was good for...
Oh, no.
And I overdid it, and it was by far the most miserable I think I've ever been.
Well, I was going to say, the times that I've had the worst hangovers were really when the alcohol combined with sugar, and it sounds like that's the case for you as well.
Yeah,
it's that combination that is deadly. And that's why I feel like Piper shouldn't be in that bad a shape right now. She was only drinking whiskey.
Yeah, it was honey whiskey I was making with tea, or I was making tea and I was mixing it in instead of honey.
Yeah.
Big mistake. I feel like hangover cures don't work, and also if you are sick, do not drink hot toddies.
You know what was really bad? Like one of my bad hangovers was when I did Drinking Around the World at Epcot.
Oh.
Because every country pavilion in Epcot has its own signature drink, and by the way, some of those drinks are delicious. Oh my god, that Grand Marnier smoothie. Oh, I want one of those right now, to be honest with you.
And that's the big appeal of Epcot. It's the one Disney place where you can get drunk.
It really is.
To balance out it being educational.
Uh-huh. But the problem was that a lot of those drinks are very, very sugary, right? So by the end of the night, I was just like, oh my god, too much sugar, more than anything else. When we finished up the night at Pleasure Island, R.I.P. Pleasure Island, I missed that place. Anyway, when we finished up the night at Pleasure Island, I was like, no more cocktails. I'm just having, like, I just ordered straight whiskey because no more sugar. I mean, I know there's whatever. You know what I mean. No more cocktails. My point is, if you're going to get drunk, be careful with the sugar. Also, like, mix water. You know, one drink water. That's a good way to avoid a hangover.
Alternatively, drinking's not that much fun.
Or just don't drink to excess.
Yeah, like, I've never been a big alcohol person. Like, normally, best case scenario, I get kind of dizzy and tired and quiet. Like,
yeah.
Actually, I say best case scenario. That's the usual case scenario. Anyway, Charmed. So, Piper is now cured of her hangover, and she has a little speechy speech to Paige about how she can't lose another sister, and that's why she's been overcompensating by trying to kill Phoebe.
It doesn't really make sense. I think my theory is the correct one.
But speak of the devil's wife. Yeah.
There you go.
Phoebe comes in and she's like, guys, I don't want to be married to Cole anymore. I want to save innocence, and I want to ride ponies while brushing my long, beautiful hair with my short bangs. And look, I'm wearing white.
Her bangs are way too short.
I'm good now.
Yeah, she's wearing white lace now instead of black leather. Honestly, there is kind of like, as much as we like deride the fashion in this show, there is definitely like a fashion story here where it goes from black leather to that terrible brown piece. And I didn't even talk about what she was wearing underneath it, which was like a purple and yellow striped corset, but not a corset, just a waist trainer. So it's like not evil, but like I don't know. I feel like there's an inherent. I feel like there's an inherent evilness about corsets, but she was wearing the least evil corset a person could possibly wear. And then now she's wearing white lace. Like, for a show where the fashions are... Well, just wait till we talk about Cinderella. But for a show where the fashions are that, like, there's kind of a story happening here.
Yeah.
So they're going to use the innocent as bait to lure Cole out and then destroy Cole. And they're like, but he's innocent. We can't use him as bait. And it's like, that's why he's bait. That's...
And they're like... just the fact that they're like, we already have the source vanquishing spell. Whatever, we'll just kill the source of all evil again.
So they call Leo with the innocent, and then they're like, Phoebe, how long do you think it will be before Cole shows up to kill the innocent? And then Phoebe shapeshifts into Cole and is like, I'm already here, bitches!
And he blows the shit out of social worker guy. Or blows him up, rather.
Yeah, they failed to save the innocent in this episode.
Yep, he gets turned into bloody, fiery chunklets all over the wall.
Have we talked about how often do they fail to save the innocents?
A lot. And that's gonna get way worse as the show goes on.
I mean, is it a lot? I feel like at this point in the show, it's not that... I feel like it's still shocking that they didn't save him. Especially with how much time they spent trying to save him. Like, usually if an innocent's gonna die, they're gonna die at the beginning of the episode before we're really aware of the demon.
Yeah, I guess I was mostly thinking about it in terms of the demon usually kills 1 or 2 people before the charmed ones get involved.
Right, but, like, by the time the charmed ones have, like, sent Leo to babysit, I feel like that innocent is considered safe.
Yeah, they've definitely lost people. Like, didn't they lose, like... And they've definitely lost people to Cole, too. Like, he killed that witch with the hat.
Yeah, he killed that Lady Hawk witch. The owl?
No, the owl lived.
The owl lived?
And the woman turned into a wolf, and the guy turned into an owl. And Cole wasn't a part of that.
I wasn't talking about Cole. I was just trying to think of innocents that had died. Did the owl not die? The owl lived?
The owl lived.
Oh, okay.
They both lived. They've definitely lost innocence before, though. Especially, remember when they were, speaking of Cole, remember the witches that had the 2 halves of the amulet?
Oh, yeah. The amulet that when it's in one piece is absolute protection, so the way they decided to do it was to break it into 2 pieces?
Yes.
You know what? Maybe good deserves to be vanquished. So Cole, now that he's killed the innocent, goes to talk to Phoebe, and she's like, hey, Cole, did you know that the seer was feeding me pure evil? And he's like, yeah, for the baby. The baby needs pure evil.
Also, every Barbas episode starts with him killing 10 witches and saving the charmed ones for last.
Okay, but I'm counting that as demons are killing innocents before the charmed ones really know what's happening. So I'm not counting that as, like, you know, once the charmed one has...
Well, it's kind of an asshole move on Phoebe's premonition.
Yeah.
To wait until... to be fair, Barbas only killed 9 witches and they saved the 10th one.
Okay, here's what I will say when we, like, do this metric. Mm-hmm. It's like how many innocents who, once they have been located and brought into the manor, then die.
Okay.
That would be my metric.
Okay. I still feel like it's a fair few, but I've been watching Charmed on a loop, so I can't separate the early seasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've been watching later seasons. Later seasons when it's like, innocent what? Charmed ones who?
So, Phoebe's mad at Cole because Cole knew that the seer was feeding her pure evil, and Cole's like...
That's what evil babies need to grow evil and strong.
Like...
And he reminds her, hey, you know you chose to be the queen of hell before anyone gave you distilled evil, right?
And Phoebe's like, why not just let me think for myself? And Cole's like, you did when you chose evil. And, like, look, we are trying to help you. We are trying to help you. Why are you being so difficult about this?
He's like, okay, fine, I trust you. Please drink this potion of pure evil because it's what the baby needs.
Yeah, and she's like, you shouldn't be brainwashing me if I should make my own choices. And he's like, it's not about you. It's about the baby.
Oh, also, he's like, okay, make the choice and drink the potion because also it's not just to be fair, it's not just the baby. It's also so that she's not all torn up about whether she should be with Cole or with her sisters. It's to make it easier for her to separate from her sisters.
Yeah, he relates to her. He's like, look, I understand the struggle between good and evil, possibly better than anyone else. And like, once you have an outside force that you can blame all of your evil on, say being possessed by the source of all evil or drinking a tonic made out of pure evil, then you don't have to feel guilty when you do shitty things all the time. Like kill your sisters, because we're going to have to kill your sisters.
Yep, he says they have to kill her sisters. I'm sorry, though, before he says that, he's like, you have to stop being a charmed one. And she's like, Cole, don't you understand? It's who I am. No, Phoebe, no, you are now the queen of hell. I'm like, look, I get it, but I don't know why it's so hard for her to understand that you have to choose whether you're a charmed one or the queen of hell. That's just, at the end of the day, you have to choose.
You can't be both.
I don't know what part of you thought that you would get to be both. I guess it's the weird narcissistic part of you that is Ask Phoebe that thought you could be both.
I mean, I guess I understand it on one level. Like, if you're choosing to be evil, then kind of the whole thing of being evil is that you don't have to care about the rules anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But then you can't be like one of the people whose job is to enforce the rules.
Maybe she's like, I can be like you know how Wolverine is the one X-Men who kills people. Maybe I could be like that for the charmed ones.
I mean, she wants to be Emma Frost and play both sides is what she wants.
But yeah, Cole drops the thing that, you know, look, I killed the social worker guy, and Phoebe's like, you killed him, and he's like, yeah, and your sisters are, you know, probably going to come after me, so we're going to have to probably kill your sisters. And she's like, I can't believe you would say that. And he's like,
Cole's like, I was cleaning up your mess, Phoebe. The other demons were really mad that you didn't let him kill that guy.
And Phoebe runs into the bathroom and vomits up all the evil. And she's like crying, and she locks the door, and Cole's like jiggling the handle. And he's like, you know, I can teleport, Phoebe. This is just me being courteous right now. Oh. We may be evil, but I'm not going to be rude.
Right. He's got standards. He's not going to burst into the door, and Piper's not going to drink straight from the whiskey bottle. Anyway, everyone orbs into the penthouse because they don't have the same manners as Cole. They have no problem orbing right in.
It was Cole's one rule. Don't orb into the penthouse.
And now we know why.
So Piper blows him up, and apparently it takes him a little while to reconstitute himself as he turns
into a swarm of evil.
Yes, he turns into a swarm of evil, and they start setting up the crystals, and he reforms into Cole, and he's like, really? And Piper just blows him up again.
And Phoebe's like in the bathroom crying, listening at the door, and they're like, Phoebe, get in here so we can use the power of 3. And she's like, I'm so torn.
I'm Natalie Imbruglia. And Cole pops a fireball, and Piper's like, Cole's gonna kill us, just FYI. And it's not like we started it by trying to kill him first. It's bad when he tries to do it.
Phoebe comes out of the bathroom and picks up one of the crystals, and she's like, I'm so sorry. And her sisters are like, oh no, she's gonna join Cole. And then she gives him like this deep kiss and is like, and now I have to kill you, Cole. I'm sorry. And then stands next to her sisters and is like, all right, let's do it. Let's do the power of 3 chant.
Somebody call an ambulance, but not for me.
She keeps telling him she's sorry. By the way, this is a real apology as opposed to the I'm sorry you feel that way apology she delivered earlier.
Yeah. So
she's like, I'm so sorry about sending you to hell, baby, but that's what's happening. Super hell, I guess.
We get kind of confirmation that the P name thing started with Penny, because they're reading off the, you know, Charmed One's matriarchs in reverse order, which I really feel like they should have done it in regular order and then ended with Prue, having Prue be the one whose power you call upon to destroy the source. I know I said it in the episode where they killed the source before, but it feels like that would have been a really good way, if you're calling on your ancestors, having Prue as the last one you called. makes her feel like she's more directly involved in killing the source, it would have been cool. But they call upon their ancestors and they blow the shit out of Cole. It's a pretty final-ish looking Vanquish, but it's not as... I honestly, I conflated it with his final Vanquish later, when the avatars revert him into being the source of all evil and they blow him up in that alternate dimension.
Yes.
Which is the same as this one, except it's cooler because you, like, see his skull. Like, you see
Yes.
his skeleton and stuff before he does the big boom. But he does the big boom, all of the windows are blown out of the set piece, and, you know...
I wonder who actually was providing them with this penthouse, because we know it wasn't the fake evil law firm. But whoever it was, they're not getting their deposit back.
No, all those windows were blown to hell.
Oh.
But, yeah, again, super easy to kill the source of all evil.
Anyway, Phoebe's upstairs and she's crying.
And Piper's like, I was going to say something to her, but And Paige is like, we should probably comfort her or whatever. And Piper's like...
at the Manor, by the way. I didn't say that they're back at the Manor.
Yeah, they're back at the Manor. Paige is like, we should probably comfort her. And Piper's like...
I want to contrast this with when Leo, like, didn't die, but, like, had to go back to being a white lighter. And Piper was crying, and she was so sad. And I was like, I felt it in my soul because of Holly Marie Combs. And I don't even like Piper. Whereas here, I genuinely like Cole, but, like, Alyssa Milano's sad, and I'm just feeling nothing.
You don't like Piper?
Leo.
Oh, okay.
Did I say Piper? I meant Leo.
Okay.
I meant, I don't care if Leo lives or dies.
Yeah. I think it is blunted by the fact that we're aware that Cole's going to be in
I
this.
knew Leo was coming back too, and I was still crying.
Yeah. But...
I feel like they made a grave error in putting an emotional moment on Alyssa Milano when they had Rose McGowan and Holly Marie Combs right there.
Yeah, Phoebe's crying in her bed in her room, and she's like, boo-hoo, my husband's dead, and Piper and Paige lie on top of her to crush the sadness out of her.
Yeah, it's what you do.
Just what they used to do to witches in, Salem times, They're like, you look sad, we're going to put these heavy rocks on top of you.
Anyway, Cole's gone forever now.
Yep, Cole's dead, gone forever, and Phoebe is pregnant with his baby, a baby that will definitely be born next episode. We've been talking about... The next episode is the episode that all bad Charmed titles are measured against, the infamous Womb Raider.
It's weird, right, that we're doing the birth next episode when she hasn't even shown any pregnancy.
Well...
No, I know.
We'll get into it. The way they nope out of this plot line is... You know what?
Let me read you the plot description.
All right.
As Phoebe's unborn child shows signs of demonic powers, the seer plots to steal the baby.
Okay. So, I'm in two minds about this because on one hand, Phoebe and Cole's baby feels like the biggest droppiest plot point of all time. But on the other hand, it does kind of inform her baby mania later if you think about it in those terms, because they never deal with the fallout of Phoebe, spoiler alert and trigger warning, losing a child.
But also, like, where could they have gone with it if they hadn't?
Yeah, like,
If they hadn't kept Phoebe evil, which I think they should have, then her having a child who's literally the spawn... You know what? No, I take it back. That could have been interesting. That could have been a source of plots.
And if they did want to get rid of the baby, Phoebe should have dealt with the... and I know like I just said, you can tie her obsession with having a baby later as her doing a bad job dealing with the fact that she lost this baby, but
we're all just gonna forget this happened.
Yeah, this is barely mentioned after the episode where it happened, and this is a big thing. This would be a huge traumatic thing that would affect you.
I mean, not to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but so much of the plot of Wyatt revolves around trying to keep this young, super, super powerful baby from growing up to be evil. That could have all been
Phoebe.
Melinda, right? I'm assuming that the source's child would be a daughter and it would be Melinda because that's what she wants to name her baby. So, yeah.
They said it was... Oh, that could have been the hint that it wasn't, like, all evil. Because, they were always referring to it as a he. They could have reverse Wyatted it.
Yes, exactly! A fun thing about Womb Raider, though, the little preview image on Peacock is our premonition.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, much like the Charmed ones, we have our own power of 3. The first power in our pack is Premonition. Who in this episode is, was, or will become famous? I did not know. I didn't recognize anyone. You definitely did.
Okay, so this is wild. He had 0 lines.
Mm-hmm. He stood up briefly and you gasped and I missed it twice somehow.
Yeah, so the guy who stood up to get his 30-day chip, and then who we see in the hallway later on, who has 0 lines, was Aldous Hodge.
What?
From Leverage. I mean, from other things too, but I figure the thing you would know him from most is Leverage.
Yeah.
For Hardison in Leverage.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
Good for him, I guess, having an actual career after... I mean, I'm sure a lot of people who are, like, background extras...
I mean, I feel like he must have had...
a line or something at some point?
I feel like there must be, like, a cut line or something. In fact, I know for a fact that there must be a cut line because that character has a name.
Oh, yeah.
So, there must be some, like... I assume that there was a cut... There were some cut lines where we, like, actually see him start to give his like, speech. But, yeah. That's like a true premonition. It's like a flash out of nowhere, then he's gone. Until we watch Leverage.
The second power in our pack, Time Freeze, what specifically dated this episode for you. Using the fashion is, as always, cheating, but you know what? Phoebe's the Queen of Hell. We can cheat here. That jacket. The
Which
fringe
one?
jacket.
Oh, the fringe jacket. That's fair because I don't really have a time freeze. There was nothing in there that, like, you know what? Fighting with your in-laws is timeless.
I guess the fringe jacket feels more like a 90s thing to me, but it really feels of that era.
Yeah.
Possibly because around that time period, I had a fringe jacket.
Oh, no! Are there pictures?
I'm sure there are pictures somewhere.
Like I said, I don't have one. And you know what else I don't have?
The final power in our pack, telekinesis. What, if anything, genuinely moved you this episode? I really enjoyed this episode, but yeah, I
loved this episode. In fact, I might say this whole episode was levitation, which was the thing that makes you go, oh, fuck yes! But if you're wanting me to have emotional stakes in an episode, then don't put the whole thing on Alyssa Milano's shoulders, and I'm sorry to say that. But that's just the way it is.
Yeah. It was a very fun episode. I enjoyed it a lot. I would have liked it if we had spent more time with Phoebe as the Queen of Hell and worst person ever.
It's the role Alyssa Milano was born to play.
But yeah, no emotional stakes.
No.
I even remembered The Vanquish as being cooler than it is. Because they get the chance to redo it later and they make it way cooler.
Yeah. Now, I did preview that I was going to talk a little bit about why we didn't use the secret power of Ask Phoebe here. Because, of course, I do have my council of advice givers. But I did not feel comfortable going to them and saying, okay, the question is, my husband is cheating on me with my secretary, with his secretary. What should I do? Can you have a more basic-ass advice question than that? Like,
divorce.
That's insulting. That's insulting. Honestly, like...
Sleep with your secretary.
I know that Elise came in and was yelling at Phoebe for saying that you should commit murder, but she should be yelling at Phoebe for picking the most boring basic letter in her giant stack of letters and answering that one instead of one of the interesting ones. That's not what you do when you're giving advice.
I'm sure that there is someone who, like, my boyfriend is eating all of my snacks, so I got a lockbox. And now he's mad at me for putting my food in a lockbox because he says it's a trust issue.
Uh-huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, what's up with the boyfriend? Is he on drugs? Why is he having so much trouble not eating this woman's snacks?
Okay, so this was an actual Karen feeding column this week.
Mm-hmm.
This woman, her brother is like 15 years younger than she is. He was like one of those babies that happens like oops, right?
Yeah.
And he is convinced and cannot be talked out of believing that she is his real mom. And that this was like hidden. And she's like at the point where she's like, well, let's go do a DNA test so you know that's not the case. Because he's doing things like she'll come around with her kids and he'll be like, well, I see that you're a great mom to your other children. And she's like, I'm not your mom. And it's like, what is even happening? But her parents are like, no, don't do that. You're just giving it oxygen if you do that. And it's like,
well, that's why he believes it, right?
Well, it's like, there's obviously something up. And here's the thing. He's like, there are no pictures of mom pregnant. And the person who wrote in the letter was away at college when the mom was pregnant. So she never actually saw the mom pregnant either.
Huh.
Right?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
See? That's the kind of letter you choose. Not, oh, my husband's cheating on me. Oh my God. Join the club, honey. Just dump him. So, yeah, that's why we don't have any secret power. Ask Phoebe power. I didn't feel it would be right to bring it to my council of advice givers. I respect them too much.
Yes, and this whole episode does count as levitation. What makes you say fuck yeah and float up in the air. It's a very awkward power to describe, but it's also awkward whenever Phoebe uses her actual levitation power.
Which is why she hardly ever does.
So it's fitting.
Yes.
Yes, but levitation is what boosted you up, and that was this whole episode because it's campy fun.
Yes, it is. So I think that does it for this week.
Yeah, I think that'll about do it.
Our show's partially listener supported. If you want to be one of those supporters, you should head over to our website, www.welcometotelevision.net, and click on our Patreon link. We'd also like to thank our current $5 and above patrons, Beryl, Patricia, Rosa, Ryan, Maricruz, Benjamin, Kate, Jen, and Dan.
If you'd like to support the show in other ways, you could always rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It helps other people find the show.
If you want to talk about this episode, or any episode of any television show, you can tweet at us at ILoveTVZines or email us at ilovetelevisionzines@gmail.com.
So until next time, I'm Max.
And I'm Tina.
And this has been Welcome to the Halliwell Manor.